Alright, so Frederick Nietzsche basically believed in the idea of an overman or superman who would basically rise above man and nature. And how would he do this? By creating his own values, being his own moral compass, and basically following that. But he did not believe in a concept of absolute truth, and he believed that we should be flexible and open minded in our thinking and basically consider other perspectives as well. He believed that even things such as morality or human constructs, a lot of this can be proven in ancient history and different things. Because if you look at the ancient Greeks, for example, right, they believed slavery to be the natural order of things. And if you look at other different empires as well, slavery was not considered to be a bad thing. It was considered to be normal. Also, some further proof that morality is kind of a human construct would be the age of marrying. Like, if you went back to ancient Egypt, right, where King Tut married his half sister who was 13, and you try to do that now, feds would be locking you up, bro. There would be no chance. Another thing Frederick Nietzsche also believed in is the idea of master morality. So he was a fan of this morality, and basically what he believed was that masters of ancient times or wealthy, influential people did not think in terms of good and evil, but in terms of good and bad. What is good? What comes to us naturally? Fertility, money, status, and what is bad is the absence of these pleasant emotions. He also believed that the reason some of these things are considered bad a lot of the time in excess, for example, if we're too wealthy or if we're too indulgent, some people see these things as material and evil, is because this mindset was created by the slaves or people who were unable to have these things. Frederick Nietzsche was definitely not a fan of slave morality, and he believed that it encouraged weakness, and he was also against something he deemed to be one of its biggest perpetrators, which was the Christian faith. Yes, Frederick Nietzsche was vehemently against Christianity. He believed that the mindset of a Christian was one that limited a person's true potential, and as long as people followed it, they would continue basically becoming slaves. Now, although Frederick Nietzsche was against Christianity, he also believed that a world without Christianity would be a very bad one. And why did he believe this? It is because when the world believes that God is the truth, and all of a sudden it stops believing in God, then it comes to the conclusion that all is false. Or basically, in simple terms, society goes towards a belief known as nihilism, or the belief in nothing. The idea that nothing in this world matters, and there is no point. Now, the reason that nihilism is extremely dangerous is because if it is acted on by a mass group of people or an entire civilization, its effects can be detrimental. Because nihilism basically rejects the meaning of life, that there's any point. There are actually four types of nihilism. First type of nihilism is moral nihilism, and this will already prove my point. Moral nihilism rejects the concepts of right and wrong. So imagine if a society literally rejected the idea of right and wrong, and basically you could do whatever you wanted. Already we have fallen into anarchy, right? Now, cosmic nihilism basically believes that there's no point of studying the universe, stars, things relating to the creation of the universe, etc. And basically, epistemological nihilism rejects the idea of knowledge. Finally, we have existential nihilism. Now, this is basically targeting the human existence itself. It basically believes that our lives are meaningless, Like people always ask the question, what is the meaning of our lives? Why am I here? This basically says that the meaning of your life is nothing and it doesn't matter why you're here. And if a society believes this, then why even try at all? Frederick Nietzsche's beliefs on both nihilism and Christianity are best illustrated in this story called Thus Spoke Zarathustra. In this story, Zarathustra is a man who lives 6,000 feet above man and time, and basically he wants to come down and share his wisdom with others. But before he can do that, he meets an old man who basically warns him against it and says that these people will not listen. But even then, he still tries. What happens is he basically warns against the two things we're talking about, which was Christianity, or letting your morals be decided by someone else, and nihilism, the rejection of these concepts altogether. What he preached was the ideal man, or the superman, which we talked about earlier, which is again a person who creates their own moral compass, their own values, and follows that to the best of their ability, and basically becomes the best version of themselves that they can be. So he preaches this, but they laugh at him. They actually think that he's part of a circus. They think he's a joke. And basically, he gives up trying to give other people wisdom and decides that only a select few individuals deserve this. This last portion basically reflects Fredrich Nietzsche's belief of the free spirit. He believed that free spirits were a new type of philosopher that would come and basically balance both master and slave morality and basically follow their own values but be slaves to their own discipline as well. And these philosophers would also be very flexible and encourage new ways of thinking. And with that, I'll end this.